Hello everyone, today we will be looking at the basics of using Filmic Pro app. So once we start the app, we will find the camera looking just like this. So firstly, we will be talking about the focusing. The square over here determines on which part of the image would be in focus. As you can see, I'm moving it right now. I have moved it towards the camera and you can see that it is completely in focus. And if we want to lock our focus, then we have to press it once again and it will turn red, which means that it has been perfectly focus locked. And the circle button determines the exposure which we want to set. The screen you can see is like full of different exposures and I will pick a good exposure. I think this is a good exposure for me, and if we want to lock this exposure we can tap it once again. If it's red, then we can say that it has been locked with the perfect exposure. We will be talking about the white balance, which is in those circles over here. So once we tap it, we have different kinds of colors appearing, so we can choose any color which we like. And down below there is AWB, which is auto white balance. So here the camera will fix the auto balance for us if we tap it once. So here the camera has fixed one for us, but if we tap it once again, the auto white balance will be locked and we will work with the auto white balance all over the scene. On the right side of our screen, we are able to see a slide which we can move around to zoom in our scene. So once we zoom in, it will zoom, and then as the color changes to red, we have to determine that the image quality is getting worse. So we have to stay within the greens and then to the yellows, but we cannot go to the reds. The quality will deteriorate a lot. On the left side of our screen, we can see that there is an option to change our ISO. So ISO is basically the sensitivity of light, which I am moving right now. So too much ISO is actually not good for the quality, but we have to balance it properly. And on this camera, we can actually lock our ISO, which is once it turns red. So we can change our shutter speed proportionately. We can see that the image is turning like dark as the shutter speed increases, but using too much high ISO is not good for the quality of our image, so we will keep it like over here. On the right side of our screen, as you can see, there is a focus option. So right now, if I want, I can focus any parts of the image. Like right now I'm focusing on the camera, and then if I want to blur the whole scene, I can pull it up and then the whole scene gets blurred. So we can manually focus on any parts of the screen with this option. On the bottom right side of our screen, we can see that there is a settings option. So once we click it, a lot of option appears, right? So over here we can change our resolution, and we can also change our frame rate. We can change our audio levels and all. So over here I can see that we can also turn our camera pressing the camera option, and we have a very interesting option here called the torch. So if we tap it, the torch actually starts on. So in low light conditions we will be able to shoot very well, especially many other cameras do not have this option. So Filmic Pro gives a lot of control and opportunity to the users. So lastly, I would like to say that this app provides a lot of control to the users, especially its ability to focus, set exposure, and also like change the frame rate, include different kinds of settings in our work. And I believe that if Filmic Pro is like provided to a lot of other people, then we can see a very different and big change in our mobile filmmaking industry.